Hey Eurovision fans, it's Tom coming to you from Dublin. I'm back for another Eurovision analysis video. Today I'm going to be reacting to the running order for semi-final number 2. We're going to look at what this means for the show, and I'm going to give you an update on my predictions on who's going to qualify. So let's kiki. As always, I'll leave timestamps in the progress bar. Here is the running order for semi-final number 2. I managed to find enough boxes that I could prop it up on. That's the best I could do for now. I'm still looking for something that I can hang it from. Anyway, so this is the running order. We're opening with Denmark, into Armenia, Romania, Estonia, Belgium, Cyprus, Iceland, Greece, and then we're into the second half: Poland, Slovenia, Georgia, San Marino, Austria, Albania, Lithuania, and Australia. So opening up, we have Denmark. This is one of the two that I thought it was going to be. I either thought it was going to be Denmark or Belgium. In the end, they decided to sacrifice Denmark. The first running spot isn't a total disaster. You still can qualify. It's got around a 50% qualification record. I'm not sure what happened behind the scenes that Belgium didn't go. It could be because there might be an ad break here, and so maybe Gustav has some props that he needs brought onto the stage or something like that. The other possibility is just that because Belgium's kind of upbeat, they needed to keep their upbeat song for the middle, because generally amongst these 8 there aren't too many upbeat songs, so that they might have said, okay, Belgium is our secret diamond, we need to keep it for in the middle of the first half. Denmark's kind of upbeat, but not as obviously like super happy as Gustav is. So this is an interesting start to the show. I'll talk later whether I think it'll affect their chances positively or negatively. So the biggest surprise for me is Armenia in second. I thought that because this is one of the more popular songs in the semi-final that we're going to put a little bit later. I wonder, are they purposefully putting one of the favorites in the second spot because they want to get rid of this reputation that the second spot has as no one being able to qualify from it. Last year, both second slot songs, Israel and Latvia, both didn't qualify. It's starting to get this like really big reputation for being the death slot. So maybe they wanted to put a song that they think can qualify there to kind of dispel some of that reputation that it's getting, that they're putting songs there to die. Like it's a graveyard for Eurovision songs. Funnily enough, the second slot isn't actually the worst slot in terms of qualification. It's got a 38% shot, 38% qualification rate, which is the second worst. The second slot having the second worst qualification rate. So yeah, there are worse ones. But yeah, this is kind of surprising to me. I still think it can hold up if they go for big enough staging. Got Georgia in, they've still got some friends in the semi-final as well. I still think that this is going to qualify. Like obviously it's not as sure as it was before. I would probably move it from a likely down to maybe a borderline yes. Likely, probably still going through, but I think this just means that they're going to have to come with kind of bigger and bolder staging. Maybe they're going for something a little bit more meek. They're going to have to amp it up a little bit. Okay, in third place we have Romania. Now this is actually the worst running order you can get. Third in the running order has a 35% qualification rate. That's absolutely dire. Second last on the Eurovision scoreboard. It's last in the odds. Yeah, look, I'm not saying it's completely out yet, but this is probably the worst draw it could probably get, especially if Armenia comes with something that's very like big and grandiose and cool, and then he comes on with something that's a little bit more theatrical and homemade. It's gonna look a little bit more amateur. So yeah, I have this as a borderline no, but I'm probably gonna have to put it down to a likely no. I'm still hoping that he will do a really amazing rehearsal and get me to change my mind when rehearsals start. But yeah, third in the running order is pretty dire. He has to be super memorable if by the end of the 16th song people are still going to remember him. Okay, in the fourth spot we have Alika with Bridges representing Estonia. The fourth spot has a 46% qualification rate, so getting into like slightly better numbers now. Keep in mind these numbers I'm giving you are mostly televote and jury combined. I am in the process of doing the televote only, but it is incredibly arduous and tedious task. I have to manually go through and find all the data. 2008, 2009 were already televote only though, so I was just able to use those numbers, and honestly usually the combined results match the televote results pretty well. She's between two kind of upbeat songs. I think this will help her to stand out pretty decently. It's not the best running order. I think obviously if she was a little bit later that would help her even more. I'm still a little bit iffy about this. I think it has the potential to be a shot non-qualifier. The song's great, she's a very good singer, so it still definitely has the capabilities to go through. In my last video I said, where are all the Alika stans? And plenty of them commented, so I'm feeling a little bit more reassured that this has its fans. So yes, she still can go through, but I'm still keeping her as a borderline yes. Fourth place is not a great running order spot. So fifth in the running order is also 46%, and that's with Belgium. I think a lot of us thought that Belgium was going to open because it had such a fun positivity message, but he's got a pretty good running order. He's between a string ballad and a pop ballad, So he's definitely going to stand out for being super fun. Hopefully he can play up the LGBT plus. This has increased my chances for him. I had him as a borderline no before, but now I'm thinking maybe he'll be a borderline yes. I think this draws definitely increases chances a little bit more. Belgium have this reputation for kind of sneaking through the last 2 years in 9th and 8th in their semi-finals, so they kind of do whatever is needed to like just get across the line, like just about, and this could be the same again. 6 for Cyprus. This is almost the best draw that you can get for a first half song. I still thinking that this is a definite yes. We have Iceland now in 7, so this is a very positive draw for Iceland. I think if they had been in 2nd or 3rd, I would have been like quite confident that she was out. I initially had her as a borderline no, and now I'm thinking, yeah, I can see a little bit more. A lot of people saying to me that they really think her voice is incredibly strong and that can push it through. You know, she's got a fantastic draw in the first half. She's almost a second half song. So this spot number 7 has a 58% qualification rate, which is pretty much the average. The 6th spot has a 62%, so even better for Andrew. Okay, and coming to the 8th slot, we've got Greece. Now this is a very, very lucky draw for them. They're having lots of luck this year. They've got Cyprus in their semi-final, they've got Georgia, they've got Armenia, they've got Romania, they've got Albania, they've got the best possible first half draw. He's getting a lot of luck at this point. My God, he's the luckiest boy we ever met. It's probably because he's half Irish, because his father is Cillian Murphy. Originally had this as a borderline no, and then people were telling me about all these historical voting patterns for Greece, some of which I know about. I didn't know so much about the connection with the Caucasus, and then also his father is from Denmark, so he's got as many, like the maximum amount of connections that you could possibly have. So yeah, I would definitely think that this is one of the ones that's had the biggest changes in chances. I'm going to check the odds at the end of this video as well. But yeah, I'm tempted now to put him into it as a borderline yes. He's got so many things working in his favor. Still an unknown how he's going to be live. Obviously, he's a very young guy. Are they going to put him on the stage on his own and make him do the work, or is he going to have some people with him there? But yeah, this is very favorable for Greece. The 9th slot is Poland. This slot has a 62% qualification rate. To be honest, their running order is not what is going to decide it for me. As I said in my semi-2 prediction video, I think it's just going to be about how the diaspora reacts. I don't think the non-Polish vote on its own is enough to get Blanka through. I think she needs a bit of her diaspora help. I don't know whether they're going to support her or not. A lot of the Polish people in that video, some of them were saying that they think that even people who don't know Eurovision very well have heard about this story. Other people saying that casual Polish fans won't know about this story that happened. So kind of hard to make a decision. I really cannot call Poland this year. I do think if she gets through, it's gonna be pretty borderline, but yeah, honestly, I would not be willing to bet anything on Poland. I've put her through for now. I'm probably going to keep it that way until I get any more information about whether diaspora is going to pick her or not. Number 10, we've got Slovenia, a little bit earlier than I was expecting. A lot of people were thinking that this could actually close the semi-final. 54% qualification rate. There's actually a surprising dip in the historical qualification rates around 10 and 11. I think possibly to do with an ad break, people leaving and missing songs, or weaker second half songs being put in the 9, 10, 11 slot. But yeah, there is a dip here. Only 54% for the 10th slot. I'm not worried about Slovenia. I still think they're going to get through. Really professional band. This doesn't change my chances of whether they'll go through. I think it would be a little bit more short if they had closed, but I still think they're going to make. Okay, in 11th we have Georgia. This is actually the 3rd worst slot historically, number 11, and I think that's to do with ad breaks. I'm not sure where the ad breaks are this year. I'm not sure if it's here or if it's going to be after Slovenia. But yeah, definitely if there's an ad break here, that could affect her a little bit. I wonder, is this another case of with Armenia? Are they putting someone who's got a pretty strong qualification slot into one of the worst percentages? I think maybe they're trying to like get the numbers up. They're almost like trying to erase the historical qualification rates for certain slots. If they did do that, it would get rid of a lot of the fuss. If they could make it that every single slot had the same qualification success rate, then people wouldn't complain about running orders anymore because every slot would be the same. Again, in 12th place we have San Marino. This has a 65% qualification rate. I think you could put this last, and I still don't think it has a shot. I just think at this point in time, before the revamp, it doesn't have a shot. 13th we have Austria. This slot has a 65% success rate. I think these girls are definitely through, barring some sort of disaster on the stage. This is going to be a huge draw. A lot of people are going to hang around just to see this. I'm sure the commentators are going to be talking about it as well. Very confident they're going through. We have Albania in the 14th slot. Now, historically, of a 16 slot, the 14th slot has the best qualification rate, 77%. So 4 out of 5 times the country that's in the 14th slot qualifies. This is a great position for Albania. Anyone who thought that Austria was a bit too silly or that Lithuania is a little bit too moody, well, this is pretty moody as well. Yeah, it's late. It just helps that it's very, very late. They still need to fix the staging. I'm still not bumping this up yet. My final decision on Albania will come when I see the first rehearsal. I think I'm just going to look at it. I'm going to know, does it make sense? Can I appreciate the song? And then I'll bump it up or put it down, in my opinion. So the 15th slot has a 62% qualification rate, Lithuania. I already thought that this was pretty likely to go through. I'm staying with that now. I think this is a great slot, very, very late. It'll be fresh in everyone's mind. It's got that soul feel, which nobody else has, so it's gonna stick out in people's memories. I think Lithuanians are gonna get behind this. Lithuanian diaspora really loves Eurovision. They're very active. They support their acts. I don't think it needs it, but that's definitely like makes me even more sure that this can do it. And then finally we have Australia. I did get that one right as well. Okay, so now I assume that Australia are coming back next year. I really do hope so. I love Australia in the competition, but in case this is their last Eurovision, this would be a great send-off, being last in their semi-final. I think they're going to qualify. I think they're going to come back last year, but it's still great to have them closing. I don't think they've closed before. Maybe they have. If they have, let me know in the comments. But yeah, this is a great, cool, fun, energetic way to end the semi-final. So now I'm going to go through and I'm going to show you first the 10 that I originally had through, and then we'll see if I've changed my mind about them. So I originally had Denmark, Armenia, Estonia, Cyprus. That was from the first half. Then went to the second half. I had Poland, Slovenia, Georgia, Austria, Lithuania, and Australia. So those were the original 10 that I had. My inclination now is probably to put Greece through based off of really promising running order plus what everyone was saying to me in the comment section of my semi-2 video about these connections with the Caucasus, plus his father being Danish. I don't know if his father being Danish will help. It depends how much they go into the publicity for that. I know in Denmark you can only vote once in a semi-final, but yeah, if they can get on like a news show or something talking about the connection, that could really help. So I need to take someone out. I still think that, like, I mean, I think the most sensible thing would be to take Denmark out, because I had it as a borderline before and now he's been given really early. The first running spot isn't terrible, it's 50%, but I do think that's because generally if you look historically at who opens the semi-final, they're usually pretty decent songs. Like the Roop opened one year, Alexander Rybak had to write a song, El Diablo, Jezebel. They're usually songs that are able to hold, would have qualified pretty safely, and then putting them in the first slot kind of decreased their chances a little bit. This I think was already a little bit kind of borderline, so I think putting it in first kind of maybe could be the thing that knocks it out. I am inclined to think that Belgium's got a better shot now as well, being in fifth, so I want to put them in. I don't know who I kick out though. Like for me, the most logical person to kick out would be Poland. I feel like I just want to leave it a little bit longer. I feel like that's still wishful thinking. I think I'm just like looking for any reason, so I'm putting Poland back in. So yeah, at this point in time, it only really changes my mind on one person, and that is Denmark out, Greece in. I want to look at my running order. I know my first half running order video I did terrible. I'm actually filming this first. Okay, so I said Belgium first, Denmark second, and if you swap these two, I would have had it correct. So I'll get the first 5 wrong. I got these 3 right. I got Poland right. Georgia I had in 10th, not 11th. From 6th to 16th, I got it exactly right if you put Slovenia there. That's the closest. I think that's the closest I've ever gotten. This needs to go down one. This needs to go here. This needs to go there. And then these two you basically need to move all 5, so that doesn't count. Okay, overall though, I think the draw's pretty good. Obviously there's still some stuff we don't know. We don't know who's got big props. Like for example, if there is a break here, it could be because Belgium's bringing something on stage. I can't imagine it unless they're bringing in like a large platform for them to dance on or something. Or there might be a break here. Again, I don't expect these 3 countries to have big props, so maybe there were no big props to manage, so they just thought, okay, we can put the upbeat song in the middle. I think it makes the most sense. You're separating songs in terms of tempo. You split up the 3 bands in the second half. You've got boy, girl, boy, girl, boy, boy, girl. You know, the boys and girls are split up, the high tempo, low tempos are split up. You got the 2 ballad songs very separated from each other. So yeah, it seems like everything's pretty well organized. Definitely think that Albania should be looking at this as an opportunity to convert the best running order slot in the entire semi-final. They would be crazy not to jump all over this. They've got such a great opportunity. Yeah, I think it's a good running order. Okay, that's what I thought about the running order for semi-final number 2. Let me know what you think. Who did you move from your qualifiers into your non-qualifiers and vice versa? Who did you swap? Let me know in the comment section down below. Don't forget to give me a thumbs up, and thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in another version of the next video very soon. Goodbye. Blah, 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 blah.